This is Director's Canvas with Riri Riza. My name is Riri Riza. I'm a filmmaker, film director. I study film in Jakarta, Indonesia, and now I'm making film basically with different kind of genres, approach, but mainly I try to tell story about who we are as Indonesian.
We're really grateful to have you here today with us. So today we're going to be doing a fun activity where you'll be creating your own mudding board, which is like the gang mudding in Rangga Cinta, which is being screened right now as we speak. You can decorate it however you like using elements that represent your films, your journey, or anything meaningful to you. Okay. Are you ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I think I will just try to see how my film is basically start from my observation, my love, my experience traveling through Indonesia. From there, I think that is the kind of inspiration I got as I'm not a person who only live in one culture. I always interact with different kind of people. I always try to raise my sensibility and my understanding about the challenges faced by Indonesian, not only in the big cities but in the rural areas. I guess my interest in arts in general, because from what I observe and understand, I think film can express different kind of arts that I interested: literature, music, performing arts. So I think film is like the peak of all arts. That's what make it attractive, in my opinion. I started in a hard time. So we basically don't have like a sort of we cannot calculate the audience, for example. We don't really know who is the audience of Indonesian film. So that is the challenge we experience. And during the course of time, it's not necessarily things is getting easier, because our community or our country is actually developed. A lot of policies by the government, by the politician is actually become very hard for common people. So as a filmmaker, automatically you want to reflect realities. And when you want to reflect your realities, not all of the audience, that's not things that audience mostly expected from movies, because usually when people watch film, they want to see only entertainment. For example, the Rainbow Troops or Laskar Pelangi is showing the hardship of communities in the one of the richest island in Indonesia. It produces tin, mining, but the community are very poor. So that is the kind of film that I do. Not always talk about beauty of Indonesia, but also the hardship of Indonesia. So that is the challenge of filmmaking for me. It's very important, number one, why we have to work always with younger actors, because we believe film should be sustainable. The regeneration should happen. The talent should born. So that is the first principle that we always thought of. Of course, there are challenges, but it's the same. When you work with the senior or experienced actors, you also still need to prepare. Do lots of preparation, sometimes months and months of preparation. But when I work, for example, with the kids in Belitung, they are non-actors, non-professional actors, but they are the owner of the land. So they know how to run in that savanna, in that beach, If I bring actors from Jakarta to do that, it will take the same amount of time to make them inhabit the location.
Yeah, and I
So
think it really makes the film more
realistic, authentic. Yeah. So why I think I like to do that, because I always find the film has authenticity when we work with I shouldn't say young actors, because it depends on the story, but experience or inexperience, or actor or non-actor, it will give the film different feel and nuance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm done.
That's a really nice board.
So basically, it's about my love for cinema, my love for movies, but in the centerpiece is actually my love for Indonesia. And well, I have different kind of film actually. My film is set in different part of. I have a film that's set in Jakarta, set in Sulawesi, set in Kalimantan, set in Papua. So the Indonesia is the center of everything. There's a love, and there's a nature in it, and of course, coffee is an element that can be very directed from Papua. There's a story about friendship, which is pure, from the rural children, to the complexity of relationship of Rangga dan Cinta, which is give lights to the new talent. And then there's a question mark of what's next. I think everything is still very open for me and for the Indonesian cinema for the future. It's a discussion I think I had with my producer, and we in the end we believe that new talent is very important. So we want to, of course, it's not necessarily that we shut down the possibilities of AADC3, but Rangga dan Cinta is like like a new energy, and hopefully it will continue again to become like a new universe of stories. I don't really think of it that way, because I think a film is a film in present. So when I make Rangga dan Cinta, I don't really watch Ada Apa Dengan Cinta anymore, or reflect it like the way it should be, similar or different, or better, for example, than Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, because it's a different origin. The energy of the character is different. The music give different kind of quality. I think Ada Apa Dengan Cinta is already a very strong film in itself, and but it was made in a different time, different mood when we made it. I try to remember that time. One reflection I had with producer, with Mira Lesmana, is wow, we were so angry when we did Ada Apa Dengan Cinta back in year 2000. We were very young, we're 25 years younger.
Yeah.
Now we are 25 years more mature and hopefully responsible. So that is a different way. So you don't try to do another Ada Apa Dengan Cinta. They don't really try to be a Nicholas Saputra, because there's no way you can be a Nicholas Saputra, or you can be Dian Sastrowardoyo. You have to find your own, try to connect the character with your own experience as a kids or as a teenagers today. Oh, I hope they have good time. That's it. That's the most important. I mean, I think the screening room is really good. The sound was, good because of the atmosphere in the room. So they can feel the emotion of the story. There are lots of introduction, but I hope when the film started, they already locked in, to the story and to the emotion, to the character. I want to thank everyone who choose to be here tonight, because they can be, you guys can be anywhere doing other things, but you decided to choose to buy tickets and watch Rangga Cinta, and I'm very happy to see the turn up, and I hope everyone is having a good time in the screening room of Acme.